the end.
All right, good evening. It looks like we're live now. Good evening and welcome to WeServe Community Development Corporation here in Dumfries, Virginia. We are instituting in these next several months our WeCARE program, our WeCares program. WeCares is a new initiative by WeServe CDC to mitigate the lasting effects of COVID-19. The WeCare program is aimed to support individuals in need of assistance in areas impacted by the effects of COVID-19. WeCare is committed to providing resources in 5 targeted areas: reduce food insecurity through our food distribution and pantry, emergency shelter and disconnection prevention, employment readiness and employment support and resume readiness, personal development, physical, mental health and wellness, and then financial literacy. Earlier on this morning, we facilitated a workshop on how to prep for interviews. That was a part of our employment support and resume readiness. And now at this time, we'll have our personal development seminar facilitated by Will Way. They're not a CDC, but they are a CEC. Will Way CEC, Community Enrichment Corporation, none other than one of our partners, DeAnn Graham. This seminar will be on personal goal settings. Our thesis or our description is to get ahead in life, we must create and set goals. In order to know where we're going, you have to know where you've been. All right, this course will help navigate life's journeys while also improving your perspective on life and encourage you to see challenges as puzzles and not as problems. We are streaming this live on our WeServe page. And so if you know of anyone that may be interested or may need some assistance on setting personal goals, we invite you to like and share this stream so someone else will be empowered. These are free seminars. We're not looking to make a penny off of you, but we're looking to empower, to strengthen, and to do our mission at WeServe, where we're doing this. This is what we do at WeServe. Serving families, meeting needs, and building community. That is our goal, and that is our initiative, and that's the foundation of the WeCares program. I'm going to turn it over now into the hands of Mrs. Graham. Mrs. Graham, we're now in your hands.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. Good morning to some. I am DeAnn Graham, the facilitator for the Personal Development Program. And as you can see on the scene, as Mr. McCowan just shared, this is part of the WeCare program, and they have partnered with Will Way to bring this session, and I'm very excited to be here. So first today, we're going to be talking about my goals. Personal goal setting. Last month, we spoke on self-worth and value. And next month, we will be talking about health and wellness. But today, we'll be talking about personal goal setting. I hope you have a pen and paper so that way you can write down the tools that you need, that you learn from this. And I have a special guest towards the end. So I want to introduce myself. I am your facilitator. Coach D is what they call me. I am your personal growth coach. I am determined to inspire. I'm born to lead and compelled to empower. I am the co-founder of Will Way Community Enrichment Corporation, and I'm also well-versed in the nonprofit sector and serve on a board of directors for WeServe CDC, as he just mentioned. My personal meaningful mission is to help individuals get past their past and to live a purposeful life, right? A life on purpose. So as an overview again of our program of this session, we're going to be talking about the personal development, right? This is a series created to help boost confidence, increase competence, and expand connections by simply asking questions, asking these questions of ourselves. We will use and discuss tools and techniques to enhance the perspective of one's existence and encourage individuals to see life challenges as puzzles and not problems, simple puzzle pieces. We just got to put them together, okay? So these workshops will dive deep into the self-worth and value, as I mentioned before. Today, we'll be talking about personal goal setting, and then next month, we'll be doing the health and wellness. The goal is to develop and maintain your inner strength, leaving you to hug yourself with a big smile like the young lady on the right of the screen. So that is what we're doing today. Now, we're talking about goals. Set them, be them, reach them. Goals. A lot of times people are afraid of the goals because of what's going to come with creating a goal. So instead, they shy away from doing goals, and then you live life by default and not design. And our goals give you an opportunity to live your life by design, create it, and put your goals into, set them into action. And so that way you can get the results that you're seeking to have. The key to success is to focus on your goals and not on obstacles. As I mentioned in life, when it's time to go forth and get that degree, you think about all of the late nights, right? You think about, the homework that you have to do, the commitment to going to class, especially for the working group of individuals, the commitment to your home of all of the stretching that is going to be required of you. And so you forget about the opportunity that you have to have the success of getting that degree or whatever your goal is in life, because you're so focused on the obstacles that keep you stagnant and bound and not moving forward. So the key to success is to focus on goals and not on the obstacles. Okay. Now we're going to talk about 5 advantages to goal setting. This is the part you want to get your pen and write down. We want to talk about the benefits of setting personal goals in life, not just personal, just in your life as well. The first one is you will understand who you are. This is the benefit of setting a goal. Your goals are a representation of you. If you have been searching for a purpose in your life, everybody has a purpose. I just shared with you my meaningful mission. That's my purpose and goal in life. If you haven't figured that out, you want to sit down and write down some goals, because writing down your goals gets you to your purpose. Okay. It will become clear pretty quickly what the most important things in life are to you. Because if they're important, you'll want to reach these goals, right? You'll want to succeed at them, not just live a life of mediocrity. I made a post some time ago that said, not living up to your full potential, not operating in your gift and your purpose is like soul suicide, because you know what you're supposed to do. For those of you who know your purpose, right? You know what you're supposed to do. And when you're stagnant in doing that because of the obstacles we just talked about, it leaves you at a place of discomfort and unsatisfied within. And that leads to depression and anxiety and panic and all the other health complications as a result of the lack of discipline with your personal time and success for your future. So creating goals help you to understand who you are as a person. It determines where your priorities are. And if they're not in the right place, your goals could be, the goals vary per person. Some person goal is just to be able to get out of the bed, right? Maybe that person could have been bedridden. If they're in the hospital, right? They had a situation that required them to have physical therapy. Their goal could be walking from point A to point B. There's small goals that you can create, and then there's the big ones as well. The second benefit of creating a goal is that they help map out your path. Imagine taking off for a road trip without a destination in mind. You're just running. You don't have no end in mind. It might be fun and spontaneous in the beginning, but how will you know when you've reached your destination? It's almost like the rat in the rat wheel. You just going fast and not getting anywhere. The thrill of the spontaneity is, it might be the wonderful thing with a trip of friends. However, that's not going to work out well if you're wandering through life without a destination in mind. We got one life to live. So we got to be very intentional about the life that we're living and where we're going, so that way we can get to our destination. I talked about it before, living a life by design and not by default. When you don't have goals, you're living a life by default. okay? You have to have a design for your life. You have to have a plan. Today is Saturday. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to teach this class. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to come back. I'm going to cook, clean, whatever my goals are. I'm going to finish my assignments, whatever the things it is I have to do. You want to have an agenda for your day, agenda for the meeting. If you go to church, there's a program, there's a goal for everything in life. So they map out your path. It's a clear path. And when you know where you're going, you have an anticipation to get there. So this is another benefit of setting goals. They map out your path. The third benefit out of the 5 is decision making becomes easier. Does what you're doing align with your goals, right? Let's talk about going back to school in a college age or even as an adult. You can't hang out, have the late nights and fun when you have a class to go to, if you have an essay to write, if you have a dissertation to defend, right? You have a goal to reach. And so now my actions have to align with the goals that I'm seeking to do, right? I have to make sure that they're in alignment. So if not, you got to stop doing that. Does what you're spending your time on help you reach your goal? Sliding through, I'm a social media manic too, but sliding through is not going to get you to where you're trying to go unless you're managing social media pages and getting paid for it. You know, you're trying to get at the money to make the living that you're trying to make. You got to set a goal for that. Same for TV watching, binge watching shows. I'm not saying the times that you have to unwind. We're talking about people who are living a life aimlessly, not getting to where they're supposed to be because they have all of these distractions in the way. So now they can't make decisions because they don't even know where they're going. So if not, again, you need to stop doing it. I could go all day, but I think, obviously you get the picture. So we want to become decision makers. People that can't make decisions are not very clear about the goal that they're seeking to reach. The third is goals help you keep active. It's easy to fall into the trap of wasting your time with distractions. We just talked about it, social media, TV, family, friends, kids, spouses, right? We have all of these distractions. Some of them are blessings in our lives, but when you're trying to reach a goal, you got a mission to accomplish. It's incredibly hard to get anything meaningful out of life when you're always distracted. I talked about this in the self-worth value class. We talk about weapons of mass destruction, but it's really weapons of mass distractions, okay? What are the things in your life that are distracting you from getting to your end goal? Do you even know what the end goal is? That's what we're talking about today. We got to get to the end goal. And anything that's in the way of me getting to the end goal, I have to eliminate it out of my life for the moment, right? Sometimes you got to lock yourself away to get done what you need to get done so you can get to what you're trying to get to, so you can complete the mission. A major benefit of having real goals written out for yourself is to give you a reason to push to become better. I talk about this all the time when I teach personal development. No one plans to fail, but people often fail for the lack of plan. So have a plan for your life, right? No plan is definitely a plan of failure, for sure, without question. Have a plan for your life. The last one is we become more creative. Habits are a wonderful thing if we build good habits for ourselves, but they can be tremendously difficult to overcome if they are standing in the way of our progress. Now, there's a movie called, I think it's called 28 Days, but they talked about it takes 28 days to form a habit. So you got to ask yourself, what habits have I created that is in a way of getting me to my success? What habits have I created that is helping me or pushing me or keeping me stagnant to not reaching my goal? Okay, one of the greatest things about having goals is that they will force you to become creative and to break bad habits. That requires intention. You can't just naturally just break a bad habit without making no effort, right? You got to be intentional about that. So that way you can accomplish the goals that you have created for yourself. These are all the benefits of setting goals. Okay. So when we're talking about habits, you want to ask yourself, what kind of habits are you forming? And are these habits in line with the success that I seek to reach? And if not, am I willing? Do I really want that success? Because if so, then I would be willing to give up these bad habits that is keeping me from reaching the success. So SMART goals is where we go to. This is how we create a goal. I'm going to recommend this for everyone, no matter what goal it is that you're seeking to reach. You want to have SMART goals. SMART goals is a pathway to success. Being an extraordinary goal creator is essential for you. And people can create goals all day. We could plan on that trip. There's a picture I saw on social media that had a group of people, all the people planning to go on this girls trip or fellas trip, and then they said the week before, that 20 number went down to 5, and then the day of the trip is 2 people there. We can be extraordinary planners, but the lack of execution leaves you stagnant and destitute. We ain't going nowhere. So if you are planning on that trip, what does it take to go on the trip? Money. Create the SMART goals to do that. Let's talk about losing weight, for example, though. Specific. State exactly what you want to accomplish. So we're talking about losing weight. I don't want to just say I want to lose weight. The question is, how many pounds do you want to lose? Okay, I want to lose 10 pounds. Great. Now I'm going to go down to the timely. Give yourself time, but set a deadline. You want to lose 10 pounds by when? By the end of the month? Okay, great. You want to lose 10 pounds in 1 month. So what does that mean? We got to go to measurable. We're going to measure out the 10 pounds within a month. There's 4 weeks in a month. That means there's 2.5 pounds a week for the non-math majors. If I lose 2.5 pounds every week for 4 weeks, I would have lost 10 pounds. So now we got specific, we're going to lose 10 pounds. We got timely, we're going to do it in 1 month. We got measurable, we're going to lose it in 2.5 pound increments per week. And then the next is achievable. Make your goal reasonable. Losing 10 pounds is a healthy weight loss. I can't go in and say I'm trying to lose 40 pounds in a month. The chances of that happening is rare and it's also dangerous. Okay, it's also dangerous. But 10 pounds a month is a healthy, achievable goal. And then the last one is realistic. It's realistic to lose the 10 pounds. It's relevant to my life because losing the 10 pounds will let me breathe easier. Losing the 10 pounds will, reduce heart attack, cancer, and stroke, right? There's tons of benefits from losing the 10 pounds. So when you think about creating SMART goals, and I'm just talking about weight because everybody likes to lose weight or talk about losing weight or have a desire to, right? They set a goal to lose weight, but we don't get to the end goal because we're not really consistent and we're not clear about the goals that we're setting. So again, we want to use the SMART method of creating our goals. And this could be for any goal in life, right? It could be your goal for your children with cleaning their rooms. Use a SMART goal method. What is the goal? What is our plan? A plan of action. I'm a girl that plans. If anybody knows me, I'm very intentional about planning. I'm not a spontaneous type of girl. I'm very calculated, a little predictable in some states, in some situations. That's a personality trait that I have. But SMART goals will help you plan. All right. So going back to the losing the weight, the S is for specific. I want to lose 10 pounds. The M is for measurable. I want to lose it within the time of the month. So that's 2.5 pounds a week. The A is achievable. My goal is reasonable. 10 pounds a month is achievable. The R is realistic. I'm realistic about losing this goal and it's a benefit to my health. And then the time, giving ourselves the time, a deadline, I want to do it within that 30-day segment. Okay. This is SMART goals. Again, being an extraordinary goal creator is essential for you. However, the lack of execution will leave you stagnant and destitute. You're not going to reach your goal if you don't take action. Okay. That brings me to the next slide. Be, do, have. Now, if you guys know me, you know, I found our organization Will Way with my husband, who's an extraordinary speaker. He handles or teaches our foundational leadership class, and we went on and on about Be Do Have, and it's so necessary when we're talking about goals. Okay, so as I'm talking about goals, a goal cycle, we got to start off with the B. Who am I and what is important to me? The B, talking about the weight loss, okay, losing weight. The B is become health conscious with intentionality. I gotta be health conscious with intentionality if I'm seeking to lose these 10 pounds within the month, okay? That's a choice, okay? The being is a choice. It's a decision that I have to make. That choice is intentional. Let's go to the do. What are the actions? The impact that it will have, right? I have to eat healthier. I have to get moving, drink water daily, and prepare meals ahead of time to be successful. The reason that people that attempt to lose the weight fail with their planning is because they don't plan. I said it before, no one plans to fail, but people often fail for the lack of plan, especially for a working man or woman. You are working all day, you didn't plan your lunch, right? You only got 30 minutes, only got an hour, now you're rushing out, you're going to get something quick. And if you're not the B, health conscious, it's easy to get the fast food that's not the good food, right? It's easy to not get a salad. It's easy to go and get something quick and cheaper because fast food is also cheaper than healthier food. So if I don't become the B, right? And then if I don't take the action and plan my meals ahead, I'm not going to get to my goal. So I can do the B, right? I become more health conscious. I don't take the action with preparing the meals, but I'm more health conscious. So I'm going to get the water and the salad instead of the burger and the fries. Okay. So you may be able to slide a little bit on the do, but it still requires a do. But whatever you do is going to have a direct impact on your have. What are the results and the outcome? If I become health conscious, if I eat healthier and meal prep, the outcome will be longer life, lower blood pressure, reduced heart attack, longer stamina, running, walking, going upstairs, fitting your clothes better, which will naturally increase your self-esteem. Right? Those are the outcomes of the SMART goals of losing 10 pounds a month, which is 2.5 pounds a week. And now I'm mentally health conscious about it. I'm taking an action by meal prepping, drinking more water, and making better decisions. And now I'm going to get the success I'm looking to have because I'm going to have a longer life and be more self-confident. Now, once I have my have, it's time to reevaluate. Okay, I lost 10 pounds. Now what? That was easy. Let me do more. Let me push for maybe 20 pounds instead of go for that. Maybe not in a month, right? Because I want to make sure it's realistic. Let me stretch it out over 2 months, or let me up the ante, increase my workouts. What am I going to do? I'm going to reevaluate. Have I reached the final destination? I've completed the task. I made the goal. Have I reached my final destination? If not, we're going to reevaluate and go back to being who I need to be to get to that final destination, do what I need to do. So that way, then I can have what I need to have or what I would like to have. So this is the goal cycle. Be, do, have, okay? People get this mixed up. Let's go into the next one. This is the theory. Okay, the theory is when I have, I'll do. And then I will be. This is where I invite Mr. Graham to the call because this is so powerful. And I'm going to give it to you, Mr. Graham, because I really want you to open up this piece about the stagnation going downward. We don't understand. We think when I have the car, when I have the money, then I could do the actions that I want to do, and then I could be the person that I want to be, right? Or the person that I aspire to be based off of TV, social media, technology has put in my idea of what success is. But I can't even be that because I don't have what I have. And then that causes the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the low self-esteem because I don't have. And it's backwards. Mr. Graham, go ahead. What do you have to add on this?
Oh, no, I'm just piggybacking off of everything you're saying. The be, do, and have, those are truly the three of the most powerful components in personal development. And just knowing those three components, going backwards, like you were saying, going from results to stagnation, when I have, do, and be, by having, that's coming from a place of external validation. And we're living in the society and time today where validation seeking is at an all-time epic high, starting on social media. Hello, social media world. I know we're on Facebook Live, but on social media, that areas where just that seeking of, if they like me, how many hearts I get, how many likes I get, how many people are watching, and how if I get the clap or the applause or the pat on the back, then I'll be able to do what I want to do. Then I can be able to be who I want to be. And so your identity, if your identity is all developed based on the opinions of the world and the opinions of people and what they think about you and how I am based on my friends and based on what they think of me, it's terrible. It's definitely you're going downward, just like the arrow is pointing. But the have, do, and be, if I have the Jordans, if I have the clothes, if I have the car, if I have the house, then I can be able to do. And if I can do, then that makes up of who I am. But it's totally different. And so we have to reverse that and look at it from the opposite end. Is the house I live in, the car I drive, it stems from who I am. It stems from your being. And the being, I tell you, being, just the be between the do and the have, be is the most powerful component of all, right? You cannot do, you cannot have without being who you are. Mahatma Gandhi says that you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Your being is influential. You know, who you are is influential, is motivational, it's inspirational. And now the next most important thing is the do, is where I take the necessary action to get where I gotta go. You have to have an agenda. You have to have a plan. Ms. Graham, I know you talked about that earlier, about having a plan, having a goal, having a target. And you have to ask yourself, I hear it all the time, what is my agenda? You know, what have I come to do? You know, and I tell you, by taking action, as you know, as the classic saying is, action speaks louder than words. And so action is truly the credit line that connects reality to our destiny. And when we take the action to do what we're supposed to do, then we'll be able to have what we're able to have. But it all goes back to our being. It stems back to who we are. You know, what is my name? Being, it also calls for a self-assessment, to really sit down, meditate, sit in a quiet space and really ask. You know, I tell everybody all the time, sometimes you have to introduce yourself to yourself and say, okay, you know what, who really am I? And so your being, once again, is truly is motivational, it's inspirational, and it rubs off on others, because who you are, based on who you're being, it teaches others. John Maxwell said a quote, and it's funny, I read it last night. It says that you can teach anything you know, but you reproduce only who you are.
Mm.
You can only reproduce that based on who you are. It didn't say you reproduce cars after cars, money after money, all those stuff. You know, I would say this not to devalue your having. I mean, having the luxury things is wonderful, but the most valuable asset is you. You're more valuable than the things you have, because you cannot have the things now today if it was not for you. And another quote too that really sticks with me is the key to opening the door is you. And I know one of the slides, Ms. Graham, you was talking about the SMART goals. You were talking about one of the quotes that says, being an extraordinary goal set planner, right? It stems from your being. And that's the importance of the be, do, and have, definitely.
Wow. That we got it backwards. So we want to go downward. When I have, then I could take the action, and then I could be who I want to be. And then our thought of who we want to be is connected to what we have, which is totally wrong. It's really the other side. So it's really who I am will determine what I can have. And when you understand that who I am is the baseline, that is the foundation to having what it is that I want in life. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't have the degree. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. I came from the hood. You know, my family was poor. And we feel like because we don't have, we feel inadequate to being, which is what you're saying, Mr. Graham. And I don't know if you had something else to add to that. You just came off mute, but we attribute our personal success to the things that we have, and it's wrong. It's not the way to go. We have to, in order for us to have that personal success, we need to become who it is that we have to be. I had a mentor that says, if you want to be blessed, hang with the blessed. You want to be a millionaire, hang out with people who are millionaires or who are on their way to millionaires. You want to be a business owner, go connect, go do the networking, hang out with the people who are business owners. You want to be a homeowner, connect with people who purchased a home. See what it's like. See if this is something that I even want. Because sometimes we feel like we can have, right? You could get the home. I talked about it as a testimony. Our first year of home ownership. It's nice to say I own a home, but baby, that comes with some work. Okay, that comes with some financial push. You got to be financially stable to get. You want the high ceilings? Okay, great. You got the high ceilings, but can you afford that higher electricity bill for the AC? We live in Texas. It's hot. We at 110. You know, we at 95 at night. Okay, you want the high ceilings? Okay, you got this cathedral window and all this stuff. You want the stained glass? Can you afford? What if a rock comes from a truck and hits your window? Can you afford this one-off financial obligation? The question is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to jump in, piggyback on that. Just like what you said, everyone's backgrounds, their roads are different. Some have and some do not. And some may say, well, I didn't come from a rich legacy. I didn't have, like they say, the silver or golden spoon in my mouth where I'm getting scholarships and colleges paid for and this, that, and the third. You know, I didn't have a legacy or not. For those who do not have, may not have came from that. Hey, you have the opportunity to create the legacy. If you didn't come from one, create one. You can create one. You can create a legacy. You can be, once again, it goes back to our being, be the change we wish to see in the world. I just had to jump in there. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Grant.
Yes, thank you. So, you know, at the end, we have to realize that it's not about having. The things that we have doesn't create who we are. Sometimes people let the stuff that they have, they say, oh, your success got to your head or whatever, because they let that create who they are. But if you start from the bottom, your foundation is your being. I'm going to be who I need to be, take the action that I need to do, so that way I can attain the things that I want to attain in life. It requires a lot of intentionality. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not getting, as Mr. Graham said, things from our external values. These things don't, the house means nothing. What is the house without health? My dad sent me a powerful letter. Oh man, I can't. I wish I could. I wish I would have had it, because it talked about there was a man who passed of cancer, a millionaire, and he said, "I got all this money in the bank, and they can't even help me now." He said, "I have $1 million house, but I'm living in a room at the hospital with the neighbor." He said, "I've had designer clothes, custom, everything, right? And I'm wearing a sheet robe from the hospital." He said, "I got a bad car, and now I'm riding around in a wheelchair." So what is it to the haves, right? You can have it all, but that doesn't mean that you are being. And then you have the other people in life. You see the motivational speakers that don't have arms or legs, right? They are who they need to be. And they're doing what they need to do so that way they can have. They're not using these lack of mobility to stagnate their life, right? They're not choosing to have this handicap to truly say that they cannot live life. There's a guy right now on the Discovery Channel. I don't know the name of the show, but if you guys seen the Will Smith like Back to Earth series he had on Discovery, he's like going to the depths. He went in a submarine and went down, and he went to the highest mountain, and he's doing all these crazy things. Well, there's this gentleman who is plus size doing it, and he's saying, "All my life I've been told that I can't because of my size. I don't have the right size to be and to do traveling," which is what he likes to do. He said he took his first plane ride at 20, and it opened up a whole new world. He ended up quitting his job, and now he's like a traveling what is it, the reporter guy. And so he realized that I'm not going to wait till I have. I'm going to do. I'm going to be who I want to be. I'm going to take the action to doing what I need to do so that way I can have and travel the world. And son, he's been to 20 plus countries. And so we want to just make sure you're very clear. It's not about what you have in order for you to be. It's about you being in order for you to have. Being equals the results. Having the half, starting with the half, is stagnation. Okay. So just a quick recap. As we talked about the be and do and have. Be is the aim. Define and create your preferred way of being in alignment with your goals. That is my aim. Okay. The do is the shoot. Your way of being will propel you into the appropriate action of doing, right? Faith without works is dead, right? I can have the faith to have this big success of the completion of my goal, but if you don't take no action, it ain't happening. Can't nobody do it for you. Can't nobody do it, okay? But you. And then the have is the target. The result of your action will enable you to actually reach your goal. Sometimes we're aiming without a target. I talked about it just a moment ago. You're being spontaneous and you're getting on a car for a road trip, but you don't have no end goal. Where am I going to land? What is the destination? So sometimes we aimlessly shoot at things that we don't even have a target for. And then we're wondering why we're not getting to the place of success, but you didn't even create your target. Or you created your target, but your aim is aligned totally different. You're shooting up, north, and your target is west, right? So you have to make sure that your aim, your shoot, and your target is all in alignment with each other. And it can be done. It can be done. It just requires you to go through the challenges that's needed to succeed. People see that the success of others and they feel like they have to have, but what they don't see is the challenges and the things that they went through. In the past life, they say, the quote is, you see the glory, but you don't know the story. The story is the risk, the failures, the doubt, the criticism, the discipline, the sacrifices, the rejections, the late nights, the persistence, the hard work. That is the story, right? And then the glory is on top of the water, the success. Sometimes people see the success without realizing the challenges that they've gone through to get to that success. So I want to make sure that you're clear that, again, you can't measure yourself by your neighbor. You can't, because you don't know what they've been through. And then some people have a fake facade of success, and they really haven't done all the hard work. And that's why the success may not last, or it's fine. You've heard of 15 minutes of fame, right? They got there too quick, and they didn't go through the necessary training that you need to sustain the success. Sometimes that training, that hard work, you're morphing into the person you need to be to sustain the success. Okay, we want to get to the goal, but we're not willing to do the work that requires us to get to goal, because if we get there too quick, we're not ready. Oh, you want a Lamborghini? Okay, well, that costs a certain amount of money. Do you know how much an oil change is? What if it breaks down? Are you prepared? I just said that about the house. You want to be a homeowner, but can you sustain the financial responsibilities of the uncontrollables? We just had a water heater go out. I'm grateful. We've been in our home for 9 years. Our home was 11 years old when we purchased. So that means we're at a 20-year-old home now. Our home is old now. And we've had someone come look at the water heater one time in 9 years. And then all of a sudden, baby, it decided, you know what? I'm done. It's been 20 years. I'm game over. And so when I thought about this cost of a water heater installation and the upgrades to make sure it's in Texas, you need a permit. It needs to be up to code. I had to remind myself that you haven't paid anything in the 9 years you've been here. It costs some money, but can I sustain it? So you can get to your success. You want the house, but are you prepared for the uncontrollables? And those are the things in life. That's where the hard work, persistent late nights, those are the life challenges that you have to go through to sustain you. So when you get to the success, when you reach your goal, you can maintain it. You don't lose it because you're not prepared. Life will prepare you. We wanted to purchase when we lived in California, whole 5 years. We probably still be paying, saving for a down payment to own in California. But life happens, challenges went through, discipline for saving had to take place. There were sacrifices that had to be made to get to this one little level of success. And when you get here, it ain't all what it was cracked up to be. So now they're going back to the be, do, have. Now I have to reevaluate, okay, what's the next goal? That's how you get from success to success, right? You have to continue to grow. So that is the key. Remember, the key to success is to focus on your goals, not your obstacles. The obstacles are there to push you to your goal. But if you shy away from the obstacles, you're never going to reach your goal. You're never going to get to your success. So give yourself the opportunity to grow, baby. You got to grow. So that way you could become. Oh, Michelle Obama wrote the book, Becoming, ING. It's an ongoing. It's a continuation. It's moving, right? It's not just I became. No, I'm becoming. I'm still moving. I'm still growing. I'm still pushing past the obstacles so I can get to my success. So that is what we have for the personal development course concerning personal goal settings. I hope this resonated with you. I hope something that was said will get you to where you need to go in regards to setting your goals, using those SMART goal habits as we shared, as well as remembering it's about the being, then the doing, and then the having. Okay, this was our question portion for those who were in-house, but I'm going to share this with you guys. Let's stay connected. My email as a program facilitator, you can directly email me at d.graham@WeSERVE. You can find us online as well, WeSERVE.org. We do have our co-partnered nonprofit development course commencement that's going to be next Saturday. We're partnered with WeServe to to provide that to you. You can check social media for that as well. For the next class enrollment, which will be on health and wellness, you can register at WeServeVA.org. And then you can also email the WeServe Care team if you have any questions or concerns surrounding the programs that Mr. McCowan had shared previously. Their email is cares@WeServeVA.org. Now, last thing I'm going to do is ask if you guys can go ahead and take a survey to share this information. We'll put this in the chat on WeServe live web stream as well. So that way you can click the link and share with us what would you would like to see, what did you get from this, so that way we can better increase our programming that we bring to you. These are free classes just to help you develop and become better individuals for not only for yourself or your home, and then also too for your community. So thank you for the opportunity to bring to you our personal development course. And Mr. McCowan, I will roll it back to you.
All righty, I was trying to put that thing in the chat, but you've already switched, but we'll put it in there a little bit later on. Thank you all for your diligence in assisting WeServe Community Development Corporation with building self-worth, personal goal settings, financial literacy, and all of the workshops that Will Way CEC provides and assists us with empowering our community, serving people, meeting needs, and building community. And I thank you all for your diligence, and I thank you all for your steadfastness, and I thank you for your commitment to excellence. I hope and pray that someone was encouraged by this workshop. Again, these are free workshops. And it's facilitated in what you see behind me is the community center at Praise Center Church of God in Christ. We partner with Praise Center Church to offer these classes and offer these workshops to enhance what's going on in our community. COVID had a detrimental effect in the community of color, and it's so important that we bounce back. I mean, you've been given great tools today to set goals, to know where you've been, to know where you're going, so that you have a better plan in store, plan ahead to do the things that God has ordained for you to do. The parts of the session that I heard just kept reminding me of our service last night. Just know, I may be the executive director of WeServe CDC, but I'm also a pastor. And at the end of the day, we've got to have faith in God, and our faith requires action. You can't just sit idly by and do nothing. But if you want to be something, if you want to do something, if you want to get something going, you've got to have a mind to trust God and believe that he's able to do what he said he's going to do. And I believe that God has something great in store for you all. Doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter what you've done. If you can see it, it's already done. But if you can believe something that you can't see, then that means that you're telling somebody else that with greater, higher power and authority than you, that I need your help, and I need you to pull me into that place that I can't even see and can't even imagine. That's all we got to do is have faith. And so let me stop. I'm about to preach, and I preached last night about that. So I hope and pray that you all enjoyed this session. Please like and share it with someone. Encourage, tag someone in it. It's going to be on our Facebook page. We're going to port it over to our YouTube channel as well. YouTube channel, and all at WeServeVA.org that you see on the screen. Have a wonderful day. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our financial literacy workshop. I believe it's going to be talking about how you can get your retirement in order. And I'm almost to that retirement age, and I think I've got some good stuff in store and plan, but I'm going to tune in just in case some new initiative out there, because the Bible tells us that there's nothing new under the sun. So that means that there's always something else to be able to enhance your savings so that you can be better prepared for your future. Have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Thank you for joining us here at WeServe Community Development Corporation. Bye-bye.